Hey there, beer tubers. Welcome back to Maxwell Starr's Beer Review. Tonight we're going to take a look at one of the beers from Maître Brasseur in Laval, Quebec. This one is their Champenoise Imperiale. It's a Belgian pale ale, 8% ABV, very strong, and from what I've read about it, it's very comparable to like the likes of like Affligem Blonde and Lefebvre Blonde, and it's like Trappist singles. It's like almost like an Abbey style beer. Other than that, really, I've only ever heard of this brewery once when a buddy of mine traded me a bunch of beers that he picked up in a craft brew specialty store in Halifax. Before that, I wasn't even aware they existed. However, I know that it's a Quebec brewery, and as a Quebec brewery, they are one of the ones that's a lot of Quebec breweries tend, like Unibrew, or they tend to focus on Belgian-style beers, and of course this being one of them. Anyway, and it says beer for the strong beer on lees. So yeah, I can see the cloudiness down at the bottom, but it's basically bottled with yeast in the bottle. It may even be possible to age this beer a little, considering the amount of yeast that it's got in it that actually was bottled with yeast. Very much so like the Unibrews. Boy, that's on there. So, let's give it a pour and see just how good this is. Wow. A little bit of the drips of yeast that are coming down. I'm only pouring it out because I want to look at it. I don't think you're really supposed to look at the yeast in a Abbey style beer. It's not like it's a Hefeweizen or anything. The yeast is kind of like darker in color than the beer is. I don't know if you can see that sitting there on top of the head. And it's hard to make out on the camera. As is, comes up with a nice one finger ahead. It's a cloudy golden in appearance, almost like a pale yellow. Very pale ale. And also, if you can see that there, it looks like quite a bit of carbonation. Wow, that's coming up there. Nice. Very cloudy in appearance. So, let's give it a sniff. Cut to the chase. You can smell the musty, like the musty and tanginess of the yeast. And almost like a tangerine citrus to white grape kind of smell. That smells a lot like a Trappist triple. Or something like, maybe a little bit milder than Lefebvre Blonde. There's a slight yeasty, musty smell to it. And some fruity notes to the back. They advertise it as that it smells of alcohol, and there might be like a trace amount in that smell, but there really isn't a whole lot of it, you know? And smell like nice bits of citrus as well as pale malt. It almost smells like a Belgian wit, actually. Although it's not a wheat beer as far as I know. Not that I can read the ingredients, I'll say. I took a French course in high school. Actually, I took a French course in college too, but wish I'd stuck with it. Yeah, but like a nice mild citrusy, like yeasty, musty smell. Definitely like appealing. It's got a nice mild. I would imagine this would be nice and refreshing now. And look at that. Just by swirling around a little, look at how much head it kicks back up. Look at that. It's even bigger than when I poured it. I wonder if I can keep going. Okay, now I'm just getting absurd. Let's give it a try. Mmm. Oh my. Whoa. Mmm. A nice dry sweetness of citrus fruits along with touches of pear and white grape. It doesn't burst so much as it, like, there's a bit of puff of carbonation as it enters your mouth, but there is a bit of liquid that goes down your mouth, leaving a slight stinging, lingering bitterness down the back. The taste of like grape and citrus focus mainly in the middle of the tongue and a little bit in the back of the throat, like in the upper back. And there's a touch of alcohol in there, but it's pretty well masked. Mmm. I'm almost picking up some like darker fruit notes, almost like maybe a touch of red grape in that sweetness, or a touch of like raisin. I'm really digging that taste. That's got a nice citrusy pear taste to it. And by citrus, I mean like more like an orange tangerine kind of taste. Wow, that's very nice. And it's a medium to light kind of beer. And it finishes quite dry. It's a bit on the bitter side. And that's not a bad thing. I'd say that it's in the mid-20s maybe. Perhaps a bit more bitter than I was expecting. That's really good. Mmm. That's a surprisingly complex beer for a microbrewer from Quebec. That's really good. Yeah, I think I'm going to sit down with this one for a few minutes and then I'll come back with some thoughts. Be right back. Alright, we're back with Maître Brasseur's Champenoise Imperiale. So what did I think? I liked it. I thought it was really good. I thought that the flavors were, well, very nice, like white grape, perhaps maybe a little apricot-y flavors, really blended in well. The bitterness was maybe a tad bit on the unbalanced side. Like a little bit more hop presence was found. It didn't blend in quite as well with the rest of it, but it was still very nice. I also detected a slight hint of like alcohol burn in the back of the throat, but I mean, some of that's to be expected with such a strong beer. Although usually, typically, beers of this type mask that quite well to an undetectable level. Still, though, for a brand that I've never heard of before. Brand that probably many have never heard of before. Amazing beer. Yeah, that's really nice, and I certainly recommend if you find this beer. This is a beer that I would buy if I had it available regularly. It's really good, really tasty. Certainly worth a solid 4.0 out of 5. I was kind of leaning towards a 4.5 out of 5, but I figured that the alcohol burned in the back of the throat, and the lack of it just didn't seem as well balanced, like a well finished, but certainly a very flavorful beer of the style, and certainly highly recommended. I'd say like very high. If I were rating things out of 100, I'd say this is like 88. Very fantastic, and I'd certainly recommend if you had a chance to find this, definitely pick it up. This is good right to the last drop. Anyway, this is Maxwell Starr signing off. Thanks for watching, and subscribe for more. Talk to you later. Bye.